Another game that shows off what the PS5 is capable of is Guardians of the Galaxy. This game is phenomenal, and it blows the Avengers out of the water. However, I do have to say that all the people that hated on the Avengers game, well, it was still a pretty decent game in my opinion. I could see its shortfalls, but it was entertaining, it had an amazing story, and it was awesome for the first time to see the Avengers past the point where we have seen them before in the cartoons and movies. The game was several years in the future where the Avengers have broken up, and it was just fascinating to get to play in that future world that you have never really seen before, with the exception of some of the comic books. Plus, the Avengers works much better on the PS4 as well as the last series of the Xbox. If you're looking for something to really stress out your PS5, Guardians of the Galaxy is going to do it on its own. It's such an awesome 1980s rockin' time. Seriously, the soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks you will hear in a movie-ish based video game. Really, they went all out and obviously paid some high fees to get the music included in this game. When you start out, you realize instantly that these are not the Guardians which you recognize. This is, the Guardians from the comic books, which, being more of a Marvel Cinematic Movie Universe fan, I have to say I was a little disappointed that we didn't get the original actors, at least by voice, in this game. And they don't even look like the movie characters either. That is because this Avengers is based off of the characters of the comic books, not the movies. In my personal opinion, that was a big mistake. But they did make a heck of a good game, so we'll let it fly this time, I guess. I must say, though, all the characters I can somewhat get around. However, Drax, his voice just isn't quite right. Every time I hear him, I don't hear Drax. It just doesn't compute unless they have him on the screen. And, in the movies, John Batiste does a very good, very unique accent for him. That, again, is something that I can let pass. Rocket, however, is one that really bugs me. Bugs me every single time that he talks. In the movie, he has a great accent. Yes, it's a bit of a New Jerseyan accent, I agree, but it works very, very well for the character. And without that accent, it just doesn't seem to do him justice. For me, at least. Seriously, every time he speaks in the game, I don't recognize him as Rocket at all. He's missing that little New Jersey twinge in his voice that really makes him sound, a little smug and arrogant. It gives him his flair. Getting past that voice acting and getting past the way that they look, again, they look like they did from the comic books. So I'm sure there was a reason for it. Maybe there was a licensing thing that they couldn't go against. Traditionally, the entertainment arm of Marvel has been separate from the comic book arm of Marvel, and maybe the games fall into the comic book side, and it's just some different contractual obligation that they have to satisfy. Really, who knows? But again, I really do wish it was the movie actors and the voices instead of the ones that they used. All right, I'm going to stop because I can look past it, and I have looked past it. It's just one of those things that keeps bugging you. We know these characters, and we love these characters, and it's a shame that they're not in any of these games. Getting into the storyline of the game, again, it's all based on the comic books, and apparently they have a slightly different story from the movies. So in the game, Peter Quill, at his 13th birthday, his mother gives him his element guns. It's a gift left behind by his father. Shortly after that, they get attacked in the house. Peter gets kidnapped, and they kill his mother. So his mother doesn't die of cancer in this. She's actually killed by invaders who steal Peter and take him off. Again, because I'm a movie geek, I presume this is going to be the Ravagers, but only time will tell as you play through the game. Peter then grows up and becomes Star-Lord by the beginning of the game, and he's already with the Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're already known for taking down some pretty big players, including Thanos himself. To make money, they, take on extra jobs, do little gigs here and there for different people around the universe, and on this occasion, the Guardians head into the Forbidden Zone that was established by the Nova Corps to store debris from the wars so that they can capture a real monster for Lady Hellbender. As I said, it is kind of a crazy story pulled from the comic books. I will warn you that this isn't the longest game. It's somewhere in the realm of 6 to 8 hours, but if you're a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, the movies, well, you're definitely going to love this. If you're a fan of the comic books, you're gonna have a blast as well. Now, as far as what this game looks like and how it runs on the PS5, it runs like butter. It is smooth as silk. I had no issues with it whatsoever. It's extremely beautiful. The details are intense and on 4K. It's just incredible to see. If you're running it on the PS5, it runs amazingly well. And if you want something that's going to give you a great story and show off the performance of the console, you should probably check out Guardians of the Galaxy, available right now.